My name is Christopher Stott. I am a painter, a visual artist, and I live in Victoria, British Columbia. So as a student 17 years ago, I was looking for inspiration and ideas for things to paint. And we went to an antique emporium, and in it I found an old telephone that lent itself really naturally to a painting subject, because it had all the aspects I was looking for. It had history, it had a great form, it was an interesting shape. All of those things were there, and so it lent itself easily to painting. And from then on, I've been painting antique objects ever since. When we moved to the island in 2013, my wife was looking for places to go scope out and look for inspiration again, just like for the phone that we initially got. And she went on Instagram and did a search for antiques and vintage objects and vintage stores on the island, and we came across Everything Old's Instagram feed, and almost immediately we got in the car because there were objects and subjects inside the feed that I saw that I knew I wanted to check out. So we went to the store and I found a Corona No. 3 typewriter, and that was the first thing I picked up from Everything Old. The technique that I use is slow and meditative and contemplative and takes a long time, and I think people actually start to see that when they look at the paintings. They can see that it's something that took a lot of time and concentration to do. People find these relevant in their lives because they understand these objects and there's a universal appeal to them. Looking at the paintings, I think what people do is they look at them and move in different layers. So they see them from far away, and it has a photographic appeal to it. It looks like a photograph, and then they step closer and they start to realize that it's a painting, and then they get very close and they see the amount of deliberate, slow, considered work that went into making the object. And so I think that is what people enjoy about realist painting, is that the amount of work and energy and time that went into creating it. All of the objects also have very basic geometric shapes. For example, the typewriter is made up of a whole bunch of series of squares and rectangles, and it's just the detail that I put in as a painter that brings them to life. So a landscape painter will walk into the landscape to look for inspiration, and for me, I walk into Everything Old to look for inspiration, because absolutely everything in the entire shop could actually make a great subject for a painting. So what I do is I go in and I slowly look at everything that's new, and things that have been there before that I'm still contemplating. So I'm just looking for inspiration for the subjects. How many objects do I have from Everything Old? I think I've lost count, but probably somewhere between 40 to 50 of the objects that I've painted have come from Everything Old. My name is Christopher Stott, and this is my vintage.